last video, I have started with theorems. Today I will continue with the theorems. This is theorem number 2. Again it has 3 parts. The first one is sine inverse of minus x is minus sine inverse of x. X belongs to minus 1 and plus 1. The next one is tan inverse of minus x is minus tan inverse of x. X belongs to set of real numbers. The last one is cosec inverse of minus x is minus cosec inverse of x for mod of x greater than or equal to 1. Now I will prove the first part. The other two parts should be proved on the same basis. The first part is sine inverse of minus x is minus sine inverse of x. X belongs to minus 1 and plus 1. So this is proof. Let sine inverse of minus x, I will take it as theta. So let sine inverse of minus x is equal to theta. By using definition of inverse trigonometric function, we can write therefore minus x is equal to sine theta. So sine inverse of minus x is equal to theta, minus x is equal to sine theta. Now multiply by minus sign. So if you multiply by minus sign, this minus into minus becomes plus x, here plus into minus becomes minus sine theta. So minus into minus becomes plus x, and here plus into minus becomes minus sine theta. Now we know that sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. Sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. The reverse of this will be minus sine theta can be taken as sine of minus theta. So here this minus sine theta, this minus sine theta we can rewrite as sine of minus theta. Therefore x is equal to sine of minus theta. X is equal to sine of minus theta. So this minus sine theta I have taken as sine of minus theta because sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. Minus sine theta can be written as sine of minus theta. Again, using definition of inverse trigonometric function, we can write therefore sine inverse of x is equal to minus theta. Sine inverse of x is equal to minus theta. Again multiply by minus sign. Multiply by minus sign. So again if you multiply by minus sign, this becomes minus sine inverse of x is equal to this minus into minus becomes plus theta. Minus sine inverse of x is equal to theta. But what is theta? So theta is sine inverse of minus x. What is theta? Theta is sine inverse of minus x. Therefore we can write minus sine inverse of x is equal to sine inverse of minus x. Or we can rewrite this as sine inverse of minus x is equal to minus sine inverse of x. Sine inverse of minus x is equal to minus sine inverse of x. This is proof of part number 1. So similarly, to prove second part, you can take tan inverse of minus x is equal to theta, use the same steps, and again using tan of minus theta is equal to minus tan theta, you can prove the second part. And to prove the third part, you can take cosec inverse of minus x. Cosec inverse of minus x is equal to theta, again you can prove the third part. So this is about theorem number 2. So the second and third part on the same basis using proof number 1 you can continue. Now we will pass on to theorem number 3. So again in theorem number 3 there will be 3 parts. So I will write all the 3 parts first, then I will prove the first part again on the same basis. You have to go for second and third part. So I will write theorem number 3. So theorem number 3, first part, we can write cos inverse of minus x is pi minus cos inverse of x. Cos inverse of minus x is pi minus cos inverse of x. X belongs to minus 1 and plus 1. Then the second part, we can write sec inverse of minus x is pi minus sec inverse of x. Sec inverse of minus x is pi minus sec inverse of x, where the condition is mod of x greater than or equal to 1. Then we come to third part, cot inverse of minus x. Cot inverse of minus x is pi minus cot inverse of x for x belongs to set of real numbers. So again in theorem 3 there will be 3 parts. First one is cos inverse of minus x is pi minus cos inverse of x under the condition x belongs to minus 1 and plus 1. Sec inverse of minus x is pi minus sec inverse of x, mod of x is greater than or equal to 1, and the third part is cot inverse of minus x is pi minus cot inverse of x, x belongs to set of real numbers. Here also the proof of all the 3 parts will be similar. So the proof of all the 3 parts will be similar. Again they are based on your first year trigonometric result. So here also I will prove the first one. Then on the same basis you have to prove the second and third one. So the first part is cos inverse of minus x is pi minus cos inverse of x. Cos inverse of minus x is pi minus cos inverse of x. X belongs to minus 1 and plus 1. So I will start with let cos inverse of minus x is equal to theta. So I will start with cos inverse of minus x is equal to theta. Therefore, minus x is equal to cos theta. So if you multiply by minus sign, multiply by minus sign, or just you can write the value of, you can just write the value of x. So this will be x is equal to minus cos theta. So I have taken cos inverse of minus x is equal to theta. So minus x is equal to cos theta. Either you can write directly x is equal to minus cos theta, or you can add one step, multiply by minus sign. If you want to avoid confusion, you can write x is equal to minus cos theta. But so this minus cos theta we cannot write as cos of minus theta, because when it is minus cos theta, cos of pi minus theta is cos theta. What is cos of pi minus cos of 180 minus theta? So cos of minus theta is not, sorry, cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta. So we can rewrite this as x is equal to this minus cos theta, we can write as cos of pi minus theta. Like sine of minus theta is minus sine theta, but cos of minus theta is plus cos theta. We cannot take that as minus cos theta. So when it is minus means cos of 180 minus theta. 180 is nothing but pi. Cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta. So this minus cos theta we can replace by cos of 180 minus theta. 180 is nothing but pi. So cos of, since cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta, this minus cos theta I have taken as cos of pi minus theta. Now if you transfer this cos to left hand side using definition of inverse trigonometric function, we can write therefore cos inverse of x is equal to pi minus theta. So using definition of inverse trigonometric function, if I take this cos to left hand side, we can write cos inverse of x is equal to pi minus theta. Now this my theta I will transfer to left hand side, cos inverse of x I will transfer to right hand side. So it will be theta equals to pi minus cos inverse of x. What is theta? Theta equals to pi minus cos inverse of x. But what is theta? So theta is cos inverse of minus x. What is theta? Theta is cos inverse of minus x. So we can write therefore cos inverse of minus x equals to pi minus cos inverse of x. Cos inverse of minus x is pi minus cos inverse of x. A little bit, don't get confused here. So whatever the first year trigonometric results are there, you have to make use of them. So here I will use that result. Cos of 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. But in case of previous theorem, sin of minus theta was minus sin theta. So I use directly. But here cos of minus theta is not minus cos theta. Cos of 180 minus theta, because in second quadrant cos is negative. Cos of 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So here I have started with cos inverse of minus x is equal to theta. Therefore minus x is equal to cos theta. So if you change this sign or multiply by minus, x is equal to minus cos theta. This minus cos theta you have to replace by cos of 180 minus theta. Because cos of 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. You cannot take here this minus cos theta as cos of minus theta, because there is no result for that. So minus cos theta I have taken as cos of pi minus theta. Pi is nothing but 180. Then using definition of inverse trigonometric function, I have taken this as cos inverse of x is equal to pi minus theta. This minus theta, if you transfer to left hand side, cos inverse to right hand side, we get theta equals to pi minus cos inverse of x. But what is theta? Theta is nothing but we have taken cos inverse of minus x is equal to theta. Therefore cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse of x. Similarly, sec inverse of minus x equal to pi minus sec inverse of x we can prove. So here also you have to assume when you take sec inverse of minus x is equal to theta, minus x will be sec theta, x will be minus sec theta, again it will be sec of 180 minus theta. Here also cot inverse of minus x on the same basis you can prove. So there will be no difference in the proof of other two parts. So if you follow one part, the other two part you can prove on the same basis. So we'll come to the next theorem, that is theorem number 4. Again in theorem number 4, there will be three parts. It's very important theorem. So number of times, one of the part of theorem number 4, it has come in the exam. So for 2 marks, so we'll come for theorem number 4. So theorem number 4, again I will write first all the three parts. First part, sin inverse of x plus cos inverse of x equals to pi by 2. Again where x belongs to minus 1 and plus 1. This is your first part. Second part, tan inverse of x plus cot inverse of x equals to again pi by 2. X belongs to set of real numbers. Then the third part, cosec inverse of x plus sec inverse of x, again it is pi by 2, where mod of x is greater than or equal to 1. So there will be three parts again like the last theorem. First part is sin inverse of x plus cos inverse of x equals to pi by 2. X belongs to minus 1 plus 1. Tan inverse of x plus cot inverse of x is again pi by 2. X belongs to set of real numbers. Third part is cosec inverse of x plus sec inverse of x. Again it is pi by 2. X is greater, mod of x is greater than or equal to 1. So the proof will be similar to all the three will be same. So I will first prove the first one on the same basis. we can prove the second and third. What is your first part? First part is sine inverse of x plus cos inverse of x equals to pi by 2. X belongs to -1 and +1. This is your first part. Sine inverse of x plus cos inverse of x is pi by 2. X belongs to -1 and +1. Now I will start with let sine inverse of sine inverse of x equals to theta. So I will start with sine inverse of x equals to theta. So when I take sine inverse of x equals to theta, using definition of inverse trigonometric function, we can write therefore x is equal to sine theta. So this sine inverse, by using definition, if I take sine inverse of x is equal to theta, we can take x is equal to sine theta. Now using allied angles, this sine theta we can write as cos of 90 minus theta, because cos of 90 minus theta is sine theta. So we can write therefore x is equal to the sine theta. We can write cos of 90 can be taken as pi by 2. So instead of writing cos of 90 minus theta, I will write cos of pi by 2 minus theta. So the sine theta I will replace by cos of pi by 2 minus theta, because cos of 90 minus theta is sine theta. Now this cos again, if I transfer by using definition of inverse trigonometric function, we can write therefore cos inverse of x equals to pi by 2 minus theta. By using definition of inverse trigonometric function, this x is equal to cos of 90 minus theta, we can write cos inverse of x is equal to pi by 2 minus theta. Now this minus theta I will transfer to left hand side, so it becomes plus theta. So we can write therefore theta plus cos inverse of x equals to pi by 2. Theta plus cos inverse of x equals to pi by 2. But what is theta? So the value of theta is here. What is theta? Theta is sine inverse of x. So here this theta can be replaced by sine inverse of x. So I will write therefore sine inverse of x plus cos inverse of x equals to pi by 2. So I will write sine inverse of x plus cos inverse of x is equal to pi by 2. Similarly, you can go for the second one. You can take tan inverse of x is equal to theta. Then x we can take as tan theta, which can be replaced by cot pi by 2 minus theta. So this tan theta, using allied angle, we can convert to cot 90 minus theta. That 90 can be taken as pi by 2 minus theta. And in the third case, cosec inverse of x we can take as theta. So once you take cosec inverse of x as theta, then x will be cosec theta, and cosec theta can be replaced by sec 90 minus theta. So on the same basis, we can prove the second and third part. So this is about theorem number 4. So proof will be similar to the first one in second and third case. In all the cases, you have to use allied angle conversion. Then we come to theorem number 5. So actually there are parts here. So instead of going part by part, I will prove on individual basis, because these theorems will be useful for solving sums.